いきなり警告文が出てきたんだが。ラブストーリーらしいですよ。まあ、ニューゲームでええのかな。ニューゲーム。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
普段ね、アクションゲームしか基本やってないんで、こんなノベルゲームなんか私はやらないんだけど、まあ、なんかたまには。
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
お？何これ？世界は主役の一体何の話をしてる？選択肢か。これめちゃめちゃ選択肢あるな。これはね、黙って、男は黙っていくわ。
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll a warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
勇者の声とナレータ
ー。Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
どういうことよ。心の声が2つあるのか。ナレーターはけど、
The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
これ何すんの？
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
刃物を持っていくか行かないか。持っていこう。
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
これは挨拶しましょう。
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
Oh?
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
これは選択肢まだ決めてない。
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
いや、持っていくね。
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steal your...
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
どういうこと？
If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End.
こ
Then
の
I'm
刃物
not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just or drop the blade. Do something.
捨てるか倒すかどっちかせえってことか。本当に話したくないの？
I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever.
じゃあ倒すか。
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been... Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more. We can still turn this around.
ちょっと待って。ギブアップ？ギブアップ？使命を果たそう
You and
ぜ。
the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted.
差し違えてい
You
くか。
probably won't make it
ど
out
う
of
い
here
うこと？
alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is... The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This
相打ちか。
is fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy wrath.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything
死
goes
んだ。
dark.
第2幕。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to slay her. If you...
これはあれやな。ループしたな。
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters
心の声が増えたのだが。
and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did our best with the information we were given, and we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another... And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequence. What do you mean?
Now, 話がややこしいな。
We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds
結
pretty
局、
consequence-free to me.
俺の立ち位置は何なんだ
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical
俺は
scenario,
一体何
that begs the
なん
question
だ
of how.
勇者とはまた別物やろな。
Time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Ugh. Enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win.
Nothing. I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
まあ、小屋に向かうか。
A warning. Before you, she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever.
Crystal. Let's just...
なんか、話しかけてくるやつが一人増えたんやけど。これ、ナイフ持っていかん方がいいのかな？あれ、ちょっと間取りが違うぞ、さっきと。
The only furniture of note is a black iron altar.
こんな鏡なかったやろ。
blade perched on its edge.
See? Even the cabin has...
The blade is your implement.
これね、壁の鏡も、ちょっと小屋がちゃうぞということは突っ込みたいね。
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past.
いや、さっき殺されたね。
You haven't died, so focus up. The world is dependent.
で、刃物は持っていかん。いや、鏡に近づこうか。
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabinet.
俺手が明らかに化け物なんよな。
But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. So all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
これ刃物持っていくかどうかなんよな。さっき持ってって、さっきは持ってったからけど相打ちになったんやけど、もう一回持っていくか。
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world.
いや絶対さっきと違うんやけど。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase. Its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you... Her fierce voice carries...
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is...
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, as you descend...
おい、ちょっとちゃうやんけ、さっきと。強そうになってるやん。
Leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
やる気やん。ちょっと待って。何か変わった。これはね、仲良くなった方がいいんじゃないのかな。これね、助けに来た。実は助けに来た。
Free her? You aren't. I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free?
自由になりたくないのか。
Yeah, I'm fine right where I am.
Okay, hold on. Did you hear that? Maybe we don't have to do anything. If she's fine where she is, maybe...
But you're going to have to fight me to the death.
Never mind. There is no happy ending where everyone makes it out of this place alive. You either deal with her here, right now, or she'll eventually find her way out.
Hear that? Between him and her, that should be all the motivation you need.
No, stop standing there and slay.
You're being a bit semantic, aren't you?
I am, but it's an important distinction. If you're going to see this through, you need to hold the right intent. This isn't a sparring match.
Fine. As long as it leads to a fight, do whatever he just said.
倒すか倒さんかか、結局。これはね、ちょっと助けてみようか。さっき攻撃したんで。
I'm sorry, did I hear that right?
She doesn't even want to be free.
Exactly. So beyond the apocalyptic moral implications of letting her out, how do we even think that's going to work? I mean, we have a weapon, right? We could always just cut her out, yeah? While she's trying to kill you. Yeah, why not? And then what? Do you think she'll just follow you out of here? Maybe. I don't know. It's worth a shot, isn't it? No, it's not.
あれ結局攻撃するか解放するか二択までなったな。選択肢がだいぶ。まあじゃあ。
You're not. I have a responsibility to the world here. Until you come up with any other idea, your body remains standing.
What
do you think you're doing? You can't just order our body around like it's some sort of...
Watch me. Your left arm lifts towards the ceiling and your hand twists into an obscene gesture.
体を乗っ取られたぞ。
Whatever I want.
中指立てたぞ。
So what? You barely managed to lift our arm.
What are you doing? What is that? Why are you moving so weird?
The princess, taken aback, flashes her own rude gesture in return.
Hey, you, decision maker. I want us to fight her as much as he wants us to kill her, but this is boorish. Just ignore him. If you want to try and free her, I don't think there's much he can do to actually stop you.
攻撃するしかないけど、解放が一つだけあるな。解放してみようか。
You know what? Fine. Blade in hand, you charge forward to try.
Finally! I have no idea what you were just doing, but I'm glad it's over.
You slash across her wrist. Her elbow comes crashing down on your skull. An unsettling, it's a devastating blow. Your body crumples to the floor.
That's it, huh? You've gotten really soft.
Everything goes dark.
死んだ。
Really? In just yes.
Oh, come on, that's hardly fair. We're not dead. You're just flipping the table over.
It is what it is. You're dead.
All right, fine. This whole thing's a frustrating mess anyways. We're better off with a fresh...
またループしたのか。ちょっとちゃうな。
If you weren't so damn focused on freeing her, we wouldn't... You're strong, but you're bullheaded. This isn't a fight. It's a puzzle. I hate puzzles.
I've never done a puzzle myself, but anything that doesn't get us beaten to death is good in my book. What do you have in mind?
Same thing as last time, only we'll be smarter about it. We're getting her out of...
Are you insane? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If she gets out of here, that's... Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Enlighten me then.
疑心暗鬼の声になってる。
I have no memory of meeting you, but you've clearly seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. You'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here.
So where does that leave us?
It leaves us exactly where we started, and where I'm sure you've already been before. The princess, left unhindered, will bring about the end of the world.
You screw it. I'm sick of this smug asshole telling us what to do. If you need help busting her out of there, I'm your man. Welcome aboard. And if things go bad once we get her out of the cabin, well, at least you'll be able to get the fight you want.
The rest of you had better keep those two in check. They're far along the edge of a dangerous path. Don't let...
よし、小屋に向かうか。
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin.
No last advice for us? No words of warning?
What I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind.
I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. There'll be time for that later. For now, you know what you have to do.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no... The blade is your implement. You'll need...
But there's nowhere to go in here. This is just a whole...
A mirror? But there isn't a mirror here. There's the iron altar, the blades. Does he really not see it?
Or maybe what we see as a mirror, he sees as a door.
It is a door. And before you ask, no, it's not a mirror-shaped door. The object at the end of this room is both door-shaped...
いや、鏡やろ。
Who cares?
鏡やんか、どう
It's
見
in
て
our way.
も。
We should smash it. Take it.
これ持っていかん方がいいんじゃないの？刃物。これ持っていかない。
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it.
This really is just like last time. Can you really not see the mirror? Or is...
There isn't a mirror. Is it a rule to say that there isn't a mirror when there's clearly one right there? Because if it is...
I'm inclined to agree, but we don't know how things work here, do we?
Just smash it already.
これは
You
叩
bring
き
your
壊す
fist
か。
crashing down against the door leading to the basement.
Why am I not surprised?
It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
She hasn't changed as much as she did the time before. She still wants a fight, which means we still...
Dead certain. Everything inside of me screams for it.
This is getting us nowhere. Agreed.
What? You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering...
We best remember how to get back up. The last thing we want is to be stuck between a wall and a raging devil.
You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel.
もう、ただの化け物になってるやんか。
muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face droops.
There you are. But this time you don't even have that little knife. Do you need me to break those fragile bones again to remind you how serious this is?
Good. You don't even have to goad her. She's doing it all herself. Let her break those chains and then run.
You know what? I should have tried to intervene earlier because I can't let you do that. I won't.
Tough shit. We're the ones in control here.
It's not the...
Yeah, doesn't feel nice to be yanked around against your will, does it? Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend.
Okay, she's taken the bait. Now let's get out of here. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards you near the top. Hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
We're planning on it.
You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel. The cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and in...
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you...
Sure we don't want a weapon.
We don't have time. We just have to get her outside.
You're making a mistake.
そのまま行け。
You continue to the door. It'd be...
Don't listen to him. Locks are nothing. Just barrel through. No!
なんやこれ死ぬって。解放しよ
Skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door. You
Ah,
attack the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire.
What is this place?
Where are we? This doesn't feel right.
変な感じとはどういう意味だ？
This is just another place. I don't care about places. I only care about you. Is this what you wanted? For me to see this? Fine then. I've seen it. Are you happy? Are you finally going to come back to me? Are we finally going...
She readies her powerful legs to charge you, but then she's...
But I don't feel like fighting anymore. I'm cold. It feels like this is where I'm supposed to be, like stepping out of that door was some drive. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. It's cold.
あれ？
She's gone. And there's that mirror again.
ナレーターがいなくなった。
I'm begging
鏡。
you, don't. This doesn't feel right. It feels different.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the print.
あら、トロフィー、ザ・ボディ、あなただ。いや、自分が化け物ってことはわかるよ。
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
めちゃめちゃ選択肢あるんやけど。君は何者なんだ？
Solitary lights in an empty city. What are... I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
これ、キャラが変わったな、プリンセス。
She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
結局じゃあ、自分を滅ぼすか。
There's nowhere for you to be, but...
これ結局攻撃せないかんっていうことか、最後は。
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This, I promise that it doesn't hurt. My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We can... Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that there is no exit. But this vessel is a creature of perception. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole. And perhaps then...
流れがすごいな。じゃあ、
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
死んだー。あ、大師匠に戻った。大師匠に戻ったぞ。
In the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her. If you...
R1 ボタンを押すと、
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
黙って向かうか。
You make your way up the short path to the A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
これ最初の、一番最初に行った時の部屋になってんのかな。あ、そうや
The
ね。
interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if
刃物
you
持っ
take
て
the
いく
blade from
か。
the table. It The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air, her voice, carries.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. Don't let it fool you.
これ最初に戻ったな。
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to... She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
さっきはまだ決めてないにしたから、いや、そうじゃ
Then
ない。
drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to build... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her.
捨てよう。
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the...
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't...
そうじゃなければ、
Well, we
そ
can
の
always
ナイ
put
フ。
that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure.
Option.
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long...
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
話をそらそう。
Princess hesitates before she doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just so...
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise...
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the...
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
ごもっともです。
She's right about one thing.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
これはね、解放してあげよ
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the... They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even...
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
体の切断する以外に。体を、まあ、そうですよね。まあ、あのナイフは鎖を切るようじゃなくて腕を切るようですよね。
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally... You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. Is someone else here?
おい、ここから出せ。
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave and... You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do.
救うか。
Against
お
your
い、
better
切ってる
judgment,
で。
place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive,
いや、
unyielding
いや、
chain.
普通になんか親指とか切ったらスポッと抜けるやろ。手首切らんでも。
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
いやいやいやいやいやいや。警告が1個だけある。警告しようか。
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
え
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out.
抵抗しよ
The blade. Move.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your...
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clip. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you
結
collapse to
局
the
やられ
ground.
た
This is the end.
か。結局やられたか。
Isn't it?
そうか。
Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it will... You're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay her.
これ、キビスを返して立ち去ったらどうなるんやろ。
I'm not so sure running away is the best idea. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
嘘をつ
Somehow
い
I
てみよ
doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path...
う。これ帰る
Really
ぞ
keen。on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably self, but fine. You turn around and trek back down the path.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the... What's going on? Where are we? Did we do this? Is this the end of the world? Was there ever even a world?
どういうこと？あ、また死んだわ。これ終わったわ。
You're on a path
あ
in the
ら、
woods. You're here to slay.
さすがにあれやな。これはね、ノリノリで王族殺しを。
Spirit. You make your way up the a warning.
ちょっと今回は
We're not gonna go
がっ
through
つり殺しに行ってみ
Ignore
よ
him. He don't-
う。ためらいが良くなかったね。
The interior of the blade is your... You take the blade. The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it fool you.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come...
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
やっちゃう
You
よ
walk。downstairs. She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward. Your grip...
Oh? No talking then? Fine. I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that night... So, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed.
さっさとやっちゃうか。
You lunge forward without a moment. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already...
Oh. This is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there, but it's over, isn't it? But is it over?
もちろん死んだね。
Exactly. It's over.
終わったぜ。
Why do I feel like we've done... You did kill someone. But that day isn't today. You open the cabin door. Only a world saved from... What? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away.
え？
I'm so glad you're... This is what's best for everyone. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or... Psst. Hey. Really? Well, more happy time passes. Please shake yourself out. The little voices... Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure...
はあ？これがグッドエン
You
ド？
have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
そんなことなん？
Good. Because... The blade. I can hear everything you say. He's right. Do you hear that? It wants to take you not. There's more for us to do, and don't you dare.
これはね、抜け出そう。
I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for say fine? Whatever. For the first time since time, the princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you the end. Nice knowing.
結
You're on
局
the path in the you're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to... She won't be a problem. The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. The blade is your It feels like no one's been here. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her all.
刃物を持っていかん方がいいのかな。
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coat. The room below. Nobody's here. As much as I appreciate the I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head, two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischief, and finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head.
Ghost!
Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she... Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send... So she has a body. And she's right there. We could probably grab her and kill her. Before she can suspect a thing, you lunge forward. You feel substance for the briefest of moments, but then you feel...
You're adorable when you're confused. But I didn't say you could touch me.
あら。
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what? Well, yeah. You brought a knife with you. Was I supposed to just welcome you with open arms when you obviously had stabbing on the mind? It could have, but it wasn't. You can't blame me for threatening a would-be knife-wielding murderer. Especially when that would-be knife-wielding murderer became an...
これすごいパターンあるな。そうです。何回かループしたんですけど、すごい選択肢のパターンがあって、これは全部のパターン見るの相当難しいんじゃないですかね。いや。
A boring question with an easy answer. Nothing. She's dead. Dead things can't hurt us.
That's for you to know, and for you to wonder about. Maybe I can't do anything to you.
See?
Or maybe I can rip your heart out. Who's to say, really?
I don't like the uncertainty here. I don't know what to do or who to trust.
だんだん選択肢は少なくなっていくけど、置き去りにするわけにはいかんよな。刃物取りに帰ろう。ただ霊体に刃物効くのかな。
Oh, she's upset.
You're going to try and kill me?
It would seem so, yes.
After everything you've done to me, you've chosen to do more? But then you either kill me and I get even fuzzier or you don't, and then I'm really just going to be stuck here forever. There's nothing I can do. I'm just going to go on and on and on, lonely and sad and hurting and empty. No, no, not that!
She's about to try something. The princess passes through you, a chill rippling along your skin. You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs. Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a trap. Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad? Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over. Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to be.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head.
But I guess you've turned me into something worse.
She forces her hand into your chest.
Yeah?
Nothing happens.
Are you sure about that? Something.
And yet it didn't.
どういうこと？怖くない。
Not yet. But let's see if you stay that way.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue.
普通にフェイタリティされたや
I see. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body.
She's real now. Pity we don't have a weapon. Your last moments are spent a helpless witness as she rips her hand from your chest, holding your...
It's ours!
See you soon, killer.
She crushes it, blood and ruined vascular tissue leaking from between her fingers.
これ多分、死んだら次のループに入るんやな。
You're on a
けど
path.
結局殺されるよ
Here
ね。
we go again.
The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again, she can...
Come on. Let's not give in to all that misery just yet.
Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me?
That's ridiculous. There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of...
なんか、ループ重ねるたびに
That's exactly.
心の声が増えていくのも面白いな。
They can screw with us.
Okay, so you've already been here. Twice, even. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine... Well, we didn't. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell? Because you decided to foist an in... That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. Yes. And then she killed...
Even though she was already dead. This is all fake.
Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the
とりあえずこのループでは
whatever you did the first time, it sounds
お
like
姫様は霊体になってるか
So how
ら
about you give it one last try? Because all this standing
お
around...
祓いとかした方がいいんじゃないかな。
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that you know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice.
How convenient. Everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
まあ、小屋に行こうか。
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination.
The more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free.
Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. It sounds like somebody's about to crack. There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and... Would you look at that? Take it however you will. The interior
あ、
of the
全然
cabin is
違う、また小屋の中が
a。single narrow hallway stretching far into the
す
distance.
ごいパターンある
Curtains
な
billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring
一
the path
回として同
forward.
じパターンになってないからね、
These
今
opposing。gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... what's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all.
Great. Something else has been taken away.
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So... You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation. The chill wind. We've always been watched. You're watching us, right? I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway. What are the odds she's waiting for us right now? Just as you reach your arm forward into the pit. Nothing. It's like this place for Red Armor.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again?
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat. Your bones. Icy pain radiates up from the break. A deep cold flooding your veins as one meets with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. But you're not getting another chance to mess this up. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to into you. You get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice? You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time. Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific...
まあ、ねえ、お互い様じゃないの。確かに最初は俺が殺したけど。
And you think that's even? How adorable. But I think you forgot about the part where you tried leaving me to rot. If I were you, I would just want to get it over with. You lost your chance to call the shots. There's no going back to fix it now. You can either look on in horror or celebrate my...
俺も被害者や。
Sometimes victims become the same as their victimizers. Just because someone hurt you doesn't mean you get a free pass. You should be grateful that I still have a use for you. Being mine is more than you deserve, really. Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportion, her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours. Are you sure you
なか
can do
な
anything
かあれや
to
な。毎回殺されるな。
Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out. And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway. Your vision swings as the princess's command reverses. So cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all. I know. You rise. There's another option, you know. Don't help either of them. That gap where the mirror was. I don't think it goes. Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered...
Ah, どっちやこれ、セーブできんのかな。これ、どっちの結末も見たいな、これ。セーブできる？これセーブ？履歴か。あ、セーブできる！できるやん！これちょっとね、どっちも見たいね。まず小屋出ようか。
You toss the last of your will aside and surrender to the princess. Shit. I guess that's that. An end is an end. Let's see. Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world. But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. Please, just let her... pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even... It really is. Isn't saying all of this his job? Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling. This is it then. I just hope it's a way out.
出口に
We're us again. How interesting. We actually won, didn't
What is happening to me?
お、出し抜いた。おい、これ平吉影みたいに連れて行かれた。
She's gone. Where did she go? And there's that mirror again. Why is it?
え
This doesn't feel right. It's going to do something. Ignore the cowards.
ああ、また別のトロフィー。エンディング、違うエンディングに来たな。あれ
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. Whenever you are ready, I will...
めちゃめちゃ戻るか。
I await your return, but it will give me... We will meet again.
死んだなあ。あ、これでも終わったわ。また最初に戻った。何
You're on a path in
こ
the
れちょっと
woods.
さっきのセーブ
And
か
at
ら
the end of that path is a cat.
履歴ロードはどうやってやるんや。これか。できない。
You're here to slay her.
ロード。こっからロードしようぜ。で、これで深淵に飛び込んだらどうなるん
A
よ。
single moment of overwhelming capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the prince... Enough is enough. I'm tired. You throw everything you have against her and manage for one brief moment. Her thought slips through you. What an end. An empire of... I don't think this qualifies as saving. What happens now? But I want to know what he thinks happened. Oh? And why is that? He's gone. But...
What is happening to me?
結局さっきとそう変わらんな。
She's gone. And there's that... I would have kept them in the... What is that supposed to mean? So you're the real puppet master here? Can't believe...
あんま変わらんな。ここは変わら
When
ん
I
な。
found you in the long quiet alone, But your commitment now is final. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality. Whenever you are ready.
全部オプションばっかりやな。
There is a hurt that dwells in them. The wounds they've suffered carve texture. I cannot be as I.
賞味の選択肢はこれだけか。結局はあそこに戻るしかないんか。
We will meet again.
あんまあそこの選択肢変わらんかったな。また最初に戻った。もうワンループぐらいするか。
You're here to slay her. You make your way up the short path. A warning. She will lie. She will cheat.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him. He doesn't. The interior of the blade is.
これは刃物は持っていかない。
The door to the basement creaked. Her voice.
Hello?
This. Don't let it.
助けようかな。助ける。嘘をつく。いや、本当に助けたらどうなるんかな。一回でも助けようとして結局、ダメやったんで。
How many times do I have to tell you how.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs.
She's beautiful.
I am begging you to stay.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been... Wait, I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we'll...
鎖を調べる。
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge... No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the... They're large and heavy. Far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of... Is someone else here?
あら。
You try the door. Your shouts and pleas. You're here to slay the prince. You make your way to the bottom of the... Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's...
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth.
力技やな。お前けど。
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from... It's the blade from upstairs. You're not... Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do... Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged... You cut into her... The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her. Her limb falls to the ground.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the...
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze...
How is she still smiling after every...
Thank you. Now
けど
let's
こ
get
の
out
パ
of
ターン
here.
は前もやったな。
No, we won't have any of
結局
that. The stakes are too high. As the princess approaches the bottom stair... Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
で、ここで結局警告したのはパターンはこの前やったからこれ倒すかな。倒すの。
Okay, there's no going back now. You bring the
さあ
blade
来い。
down to strike at the princess's heart, but she's fast. She
あ、
dives
や
to
ば
the。floor, your blade narrowly grazing her.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole... I don't know what's come over you. But if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think...
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity, but you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor. your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay. It can't just end like this. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny everything goes dark.
死んだ。
And you die. You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay. A warning. She will lie. She will cheat. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job.
お調子者が出てきたぞ。このパターンはまた新しいな。
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted root. The blade is your implement.
持っていくか持っていかんかかな。刃物。結局、持っていかんかっても出てくるんよな。ただここで、持っていかん方にしようか。
No blade. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died. The door to the basement, the weak starlight, the air smell, her voice, skip.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
やあどうも。やあどうも。やあどうもでいこうか。
Recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the war. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I'm just glad we could put all... Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. Let's chatter up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where... Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
前回は俺が悪かった。
Let's apologize. Get us back on the right.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it. Just because I'll never trust you doesn't mean I won't use you to get what I want. The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please. But it insists if I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you.
Eh? 放置しかないやん。
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back?
選択としてはだって放置しかないね。
Oh, of course. They're nothing to me.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. This is why she can't just be abandoned here.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious... She never breaks eye contact, even as she's silent for a long moment, as if testing to...
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I...
Oh, no. We can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back, it shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she... Somebody has to go first. And then we're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition...
いや、前に行ってもらおう。 お前が先に行け。
Turn my back on you? Do you think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things.
Just go first. The princess leans close, her nose twitching.
What is she doing? I think she's trying to figure out if we're lying. So it's a good thing we...
Your stink is the stink of a wretch, but not of a liar. If I have to go first, I'll go first. But I'll have you know my ears are...
Eyes on the back of her head.
No, we're fine.
The princess pointedly turns her back on you. You follow close behind her, the two of you walking on...
We're almost there. You better not try anything.
Us? No, never.
Just keep your eyes peeled.
I don't follow. Oh, you'll know it when you see it.
The princess reaches the top of the stairs and cross, but something catches her eye.
Oh no? It's the blade, isn't it? I was going to tell you to grab it once we got upstairs. That was the whole...
I wonder if perhaps you were planning to bury this in my back. What an awful little scheme that would be. Too bad I bye-bye, you loathsome little nuisance.
Then she slams the door on you. Its lock swiftly
Locked in the basement. I thought for sure she was just going to stab us.
The princess cackles.
How does it feel to be locked away and forgotten by the world? Isn't it... I do, but I just couldn't help myself. And we both know that you're... So we're going to stay exactly as we are right now.
Why isn't he saying anything? I think he's gone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever have to see you face to face again. Otherwise, I might have given you a little more courtesy at the... Why is everything going away? I feel...
また連れ去られたで。お前は結局ここの小屋から出れないんやな。
She's gone. And is that a... What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt, you better watch your back. You...
ああ、またトロフィー。ああ、これあれや。エンディングや。けど結局、こうなるんやな。
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. All of me is changing. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe. I am everything that you have known me to be. As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care. It does seem small from here, and the more we journey.
結局あれやな、ここで死んで、ループがまた始まる。あー、終わった。いや、なんかしてあの姫を小屋から出す方法があるんやろな。選択肢が多すぎて。これは自力で見つけるのは難しそうです。さあ、こんなもんか。まあ、たまにはこういうノベルゲームも。いや、まあ、俺はアクションゲームしかせんから、まあ、こういう配信はだいぶレアやね。いやー、お疲れ様でした。